You live under a sky the color of rust and apathy. It is the only sky you have ever known. The great metal ceiling of Xylos stretches from horizon to horizon. It blots out the suns and the stars and any memory of them. Below it, you and the others live your quiet lives. Quiet is not a choice here. It is a law. The Cathar Concordance demands silence. They demand obedience. Their hulking enforcers patrol the gray streets. Their bodies are slabs of muscle and chitin. Their faces are unreadable masks of bone. They do not speak. They only act, swiftly and with finality. Any sound above a whisper earns a warning. Any second sound earns a visit. You were born into this quiet world. You do not remember the songs your ancestors sang. You have never heard a story told aloud. Music is a ghost. Laughter is a myth. Life is a series of silent, prescribed motions. You wake. You work. You eat your nutrient paste. You sleep. The cycle repeats under the watchful gaze of silent drones. Your work is in the scrap fields. They rise like mountains at the edge of the silent city. These are the bones of dead technologies. They are the refuse of the Cathar's starborn empire. Your job is to pick through them. You search for anything useful. A power cell with a flicker of life. A thermal coil that still holds a memory of warmth. You are small for your age. This is a gift in the scrap fields. You can squeeze into tight spaces. You can navigate the treacherous valleys of twisted metal. You move like a phantom through the metallic graveyard. Your fingers are nimble. Your eyes are sharp. You find what others miss. Most days it is barely enough to survive. Today is no different. The air tastes of ozone and decay. The silence is broken only by the scrape of your boots on metal. You pull at a corroded panel. It groans in protest. The sound makes you freeze. You look up, searching the gray sky for a patrol drone. Nothing. You let out a breath you did not know you were holding. Beneath the panel is a cavity. It is filled with the dust of ages. And something else. A small object glints in the dim light. It is not Cathar tech. Their equipment is all sharp angles and brutal function. This object is smooth. It is shaped like a flattened, dark gray river stone. It feels warm in your hand. You know instantly that it is ancient. It is from before the concordance. It is human. This is a dangerous thing to possess. The Cathar have purged all traces of the old cultures. Owning such an artifact is an act of rebellion. It is a death sentence. You close your fist around it. Its warmth is a secret comfort. You glance around one last time. The scrap fields are empty. The silence is your only witness. You slip the small object into a hidden pocket in your tunic. You feel its weight against your hip. It is a tiny anchor to a forgotten past. You turn and head back toward the city's gray spires. For the first time in your life, you have a secret worth keeping. Your home is a small, forgotten maintenance locker. It is tucked away in the city's deep underbelly. The Cathar do not bother with these old places. They are filled with dust and failing systems. To you, it is a sanctuary. It is the only place you can be alone. The only place you can risk a thought. You wait until the city's light cycle dims to its darkest. A deep, oppressive twilight. You pull the object from your pocket. It is a data chip, an old one, the kind that requires a direct interface to read. You do not have one. But you know where you might find the parts. The task is dangerous. The reward is a complete unknown. For 3 days you scavenge with a new purpose. You are not looking for survival now. You are looking for a key. You need a reader coil, a power converter, a display emitter. These are rare parts. They are relics of a time when information was free. The Cathar control all data now. All screens show their approved symbols. all knowledge is their knowledge. You find the parts one by one, a coil from a derelict transport, an emitter from a shattered public terminal. The power converter is the hardest. You finally pry one from the guts of a service drone. Its fall from a high walkway must have happened years ago. Its shell is cracked and weathered. Its core is miraculously intact. Back in your locker, you assemble the device. Your fingers work with practiced skill. You are a child of the scrap. You understand how machines fit together. The final connection is made. A small indicator light on the converter flickers green. You hold your breath. The device is crude. It is unstable. But it lives. You gently slide the ancient data chip into the slot. For a moment, nothing happens. The green light sputters. You feel a wave of disappointment. It was just a dead piece of rock after all. Then, a soft hum fills the tiny space. A cone of pale blue light projects from the emitter. It shimmers in the dusty air. There are no images in the light, no grand histories of a lost civilization. There is only text, a few short lines of glowing characters. The language is an old form of human common. You can barely read it. The grammar is strange. The words are unfamiliar. Looks like a conversation, a question and a series of responses. You spend weeks deciphering the message. Every night you power up your illegal reader. You stare at the glowing words. You cross-reference them with symbols you see on old machinery. You slowly piece together the meaning. It is not a history. It is not a scientific formula. It is something else entirely, something useless. The text describes a creature, a duck. You have never seen a duck. The Cathar permit no animals except for protein-vat organisms. The text says this duck walks into a place, a lemonade stand. This concept is even stranger. A place that just gives out a single kind of sweet drink. It seems impossibly wasteful. A very human idea. The duck asks the man at the stand a question. The question is simple. Got any grapes? The man says no. The duck leaves. The next day, the same thing happens. The duck returns. It asks for grapes. The man, now annoyed, says no again. This repeats. Day after day. The duck asks. The man refuses. You struggle with the meaning. Why does the duck want grapes at a lemonade stand? Why does it keep coming back? It is a puzzle with no logical solution. The Cathar value logic above all else. Everything must have a purpose, a function. This story has none. It is pointless. Yet you cannot stop thinking about it. Finally, you translate the last part of the text. On the final day, the man gets angry. He threatens the duck. He says if it asks for grapes again, he will nail its feet to the floor. An act of shocking, pointless violence. The duck is silent for a moment. Then it asks a different question. Got any nails? The man says no. The duck replies, good. Got any grapes? You read the final line over and over. Got any grapes? The words make no sense. The story is a loop of foolishness. And yet, a strange feeling blossoms in your chest, a twitch in the muscles of your face. You do not have a name for this feeling. You have never felt it before. You have just deciphered the oldest, most useless thing in the universe, a joke. A new sound echoes through the city's gray canyons. It is the deep, resonant toll of a warning bell. It rings only once a year. The governor is coming. Governor Zorgon, the regional overseer for the Cathar Concordance. His arrival means one thing, the tithe. Every citizen must offer a tribute. A wave of dread washes over the population. It is a cold, silent panic. The tithe is a test of loyalty, a measure of your worth to the empire. You must give something of value, something you cannot spare, a finely crafted tool, a month's worth of energy cells, a rare mineral you spent weeks digging for. To have nothing to offer is to be judged worthless. Worthless things are recycled by the Cathar. You watch from a high gantry as the governor's procession ship arrives. It is not a ship. It is a mobile fortress, a block of dark metal that bleeds shadow. It descends without a sound. It settles in the city's central plaza. It crushes fountains and statues beneath its weight. The Cathar are not sentimental about architecture. The governor's arrival changes the silence. It becomes heavier, more profound. It is the silence of absolute fear. Enforcers flood the streets. Their numbers triple. They stand at every corner. Their bone-white faces are impossible to read. But you can feel their cold attention on everything, on everyone. The day of the tithe arrives. The sky seems even more gray than usual. Long lines of people snake through the streets. They all lead to the central plaza. They all end at the foot of a temporary dais. Governor Zorgon will sit there. He will watch each person present their offering. He will judge. You have nothing. The parts you scavenge keep you alive. They do not create value. You own nothing but the clothes on your back, the secret in your mind, and the crude reader hidden in your locker. None of these are acceptable offerings. You have known this day was coming. You have no plan. You join one of the lines. You are swept along by the silent, shuffling crowd. The people around you clutch their tributes. A woman holds a beautiful piece of woven fabric. An old man carries a perfectly calibrated gear set. Their faces are grim. They are giving away pieces of their lives, and they are the lucky ones. You see others in the line like you. Their hands are empty. Their faces are pale with terror. You see the enforcers moving along the queue. They spot an empty-handed man. They pull him from the line. He does not scream. He does not struggle. He simply vanishes into their ranks. You know you will never see him again. The line inches forward. The dais is closer now. You can see the throne. It is carved from a single piece of black, volcanic glass. It seems to drink the light. The governor is not there yet, but his presence is felt. A pressure in the air, a cold knot in your stomach. Your own hands are empty. They feel useless and heavy at your sides. The enforcers are getting closer. Their heavy footsteps are the only sound. A rhythmic, metallic beat. It is the sound of approaching doom. You could run. You could try to lose yourself in the city's labyrinthine alleys. But they would find you. They always find you. There is no escape from the tithe. The enforcer stands before you. It is a mountain of chitin and malice. Its head tilts. Its multifaceted eyes fix on your empty hands. It makes a low clicking sound, a sound of disapproval, a sound of finality. A heavy, armored hand clamps down on your shoulder. The grip is like iron. You are pulled from the line. The crowd parts before you. No one meets your eye. To look at you is to associate with you. It is to risk being judged worthless as well. You are alone. You are dragged through the plaza. The ground is cold beneath your worn boots. You are being taken to the dais, to the place of judgment. You are thrown to the ground at the base of the throne. The stone is cold and unyielding. You look up. Governor Zorgon has arrived. He is larger than you imagined. His body is a fusion of dark gray armor and pale, leathery flesh. He does not look like the enforcers. He is something older, something far more powerful. He sits on the obsidian throne. He radiates an aura of profound boredom. His massive head rests on one clawed hand. He watches the line of citizens. He watches them place their offerings on a collection platform. His expression does not change. A flicker of his eyes is all it takes to accept or reject a tribute. Rejection is not a good outcome. His gaze drifts from the line. It falls upon you, a small, worthless child with empty hands. The pressure of his attention is immense. It feels like the weight of a collapsing star. The air grows thin. The silence in the plaza deepens. Even the shuffling of feet has stopped. All eyes are on you. A voice echoes in your mind. It is not a sound. It is a thought, an intrusion. It is cold and vast and ancient. You were brought before me with nothing. Explain this. The voice is Governor Zorgon's. The Cathar elite do not need to speak aloud. They simply impose their will upon the minds of lesser beings. Your own voice is a dry whisper in your throat. You try to speak. No words come out. Fear is a stone in your chest. You have nothing to offer him, no tool, no treasure, no reason to continue living. The enforcer beside you raises a weapon. It hums with contained energy. This is the end. Your mind races. It grasps for anything, any hope, any way out. And then it finds the secret, the useless string of words from the data chip. The story of the duck. It is nothing of value. It is illogical. It is foolish. It is the only thing you have. I have an offering, Governor, you say. Your voice is small but clear in the vast plaza. It is not a thing you can hold. It is a treasure from old Earth. It is a story. The governor's massive head tilts slightly. A flicker of something that might be curiosity appears in his dark eyes. The voice returns to your mind. A story? We have archives of 1,000,000 worlds. Your species' tales are primitive and sentimental. Why would I want one? The boredom in his tone is a weapon. It could crush mountains. You take a shaky breath. Because this one is different, you say. It holds a secret logic, a very human logic. This is a lie. The story has no logic, but it is the only thing you can think to say. You have his attention. For a few seconds more, you are alive. Proceed, the voice commands. But know this. Wasting my time is a fatal offense. You get to your feet. You stand before the silent alien ruler. You face the thousands of silent humans behind him. Your heart hammers against your ribs. You are about to perform for an audience of the doomed and their god. You clear your throat. You begin to speak the ancient, nonsensical words. A duck walks up to a lemonade stand. Your voice trembles at first. Then it steadies. You have recited these words to yourself 100 times in the dark. They are a part of you now. He says to the man running the stand, "Hey, got any grapes?" You pause. The silence is absolute. No one moves. No one breathes. Governor Zorgon watches you. His stony face is a perfect mask. It reveals nothing. You cannot tell if he is intrigued or simply deciding the most efficient way to disintegrate you. You must continue. You have no other choice. The man says no. We just sell lemonade. It's a lemonade stand. And the duck walks away. You describe the next day. The ducks return. The same question. The man's growing irritation. The words feel strange in the open air. They are relics of a time of plenty. A time with ducks and grapes and stands that sold only one kind of drink. A time of impossible freedom. You tell of the third day, the fourth, the fifth. The repetition is key. You feel it in your gut. The building of a pattern. The Cathar understand patterns. Their empire is built on them. Order, repetition, predictability. Perhaps this foolish story would appeal to that part of their minds. You reach the final confrontation. The man's threat. Listen, duck. you recite, trying to put a strange, forgotten emotion called annoyance into your voice. If you ask me for grapes one more time, I will nail your little webbed feet to this stand. You let the threat hang in the air. The plaza is so quiet you can hear the hum of the governor's throne. You describe the duck's silence, its thoughtful pause, and then its final, clever question. Got any nails? The man's confusion, his negative reply. No. And then you deliver the last line, the pivot upon which the entire foolish story turns. You look directly into the governor's unblinking eyes. Good, you say. Got any grapes? You finish. The joke is told. The last word hangs in the air, then vanishes. Silence rushes back in. It is heavier than before. It is the silence of a tomb. You have done it. You have offered your worthless gift. You have performed your desperate act. Now, judgment will fall. Governor Zorgon does not move. His massive gray face is a sculpture of indifference. The story has failed. The human logic was not logical enough. You brace yourself for the end. You close your eyes. You think of the glowing words on the data chip. It was a strange secret to die for. An enforcer steps forward. Its weapon is raised. This is it. But then, it stops. It hesitates, because a sound has broken the silence. A new sound. It is not a voice. It is not the hum of a machine. It is a strange, low vibration. It seems to come from the governor's throne itself. The sound grows. It is a rhythmic series of low pulses, a tremor that starts deep in the governor's chest. His huge shoulders begin to shake. The tremor intensifies. It becomes a series of sharp, percussive noises. A harsh, rasping sound escapes his vocalizer. It sounds like stone grinding against stone. You open your eyes. You stare at the alien ruler. His entire body is convulsing. The Cathar enforcers around him take a step back. Their eternal composure is broken. You can see confusion in their posture. They have never seen their leader do this. They have no protocol for it. The sound he is making is not in any of their databases. A gout of air bursts from him. It is a bark, a cough, a geological event. He makes the sound again and again. His clawed hand, the one propping up his head, slips. His head lurches forward. Another explosive sound tears through the plaza. It echoes off the gray buildings. It is a shocking violation of the silence. It takes you a moment to understand. This sound, this violent, involuntary spasm, is a reaction to your story. To the duck, to the grapes. The useless, illogical words have caused a malfunction in the governor of the Cathar Concordance. You have broken him with a joke. The sound he is making is laughter. It is a terrible, alien, grinding noise. It is the sound of a mountain falling down. But it is unmistakably laughter. A concept so foreign to the Cathar that it has short-circuited his ancient, logical mind. A sound no one on Xylos has heard for generations. Governor Zorgon struggles to control himself. He pounds a massive fist on the arm of his throne. Each impact sends a deep boom across the plaza. The laughter continues to erupt from him. It is a storm, a force of nature. The humans in the crowd are frozen. They stare in a mixture of terror and disbelief. Their world has been turned upside down. Finally, the storm subsides. The governor's convulsions lessen. The terrible sounds die down to a few last, rasping chuckles. He straightens up on his throne. He takes a series of deep, shuddering breaths. He looks down at you, and in his ancient, dark eyes, you see something new, something that has never been there before. Amusement. The voice returns to your mind. It is different now. It is no longer cold and bored. It has a strange new resonance, a warmth. That was illogical, the thought voice states. It was without purpose. It was efficient in its own way. He seems to be analyzing the joke's structure, trying to understand the emotional cascade it created in his brain. You have provided a unique tribute, the governor's voice continues in your head. A thing of no physical value, yet its effect was significant. The concordance rewards value. Your offering will be rewarded. He lifts a single clawed finger. He points to a section of the city near the outer wall, a desolate, forgotten district of empty warehouses and cracked streets. That land is now yours, the governor declares. The thought is broadcast to everyone in the plaza. It is a freehold. The concordance will not tax it. It will not police it. It is your domain, a reward for a good story. He has given you a piece of the world, a tiny scrap of it, but it is yours. Free from the Cathar's crushing rule. You stare, speechless. You came to the tithe with nothing. You expected to die. Instead, you have been given a future. You have purchased a piece of freedom, not with a tool, not with a treasure, but with an old joke you found in a pile of scrap, a joke about a duck. The governor rises from his throne. The tithe is clearly over. He has lost interest in material goods. He has found something new. The enforcers part to let him pass. As he walks by you, his vast shadow falls over you. The voice comes into your mind one last time. A private, final thought. Got any grapes? Then he is gone, leaving you in a plaza full of silent, stunned people. You are no longer just a scavenger. You are a landowner, a storyteller, and a very, very dangerous child. News travels fast, even in a city of whispers. The story of the tithe spreads like a virus. The tale of the child with empty hands. The offering of a foolish story. And the governor's impossible reaction. His laughter echoed in the minds of everyone present. It was a crack in the foundation of their world. People begin to look at you differently. Before, you were invisible. Just another orphan surviving on the margins. Now, you are a person of consequence. You are the one who made the governor laugh. You are the one who was rewarded, not punished, for having nothing. This simple fact is a revolution. They speak of the joke in hushed tones. They do not know the words, but they know its power. They call it the jest, the impossible sound that broke Cathar composure. Hope is a dangerous thing in a place like Xylos. It has been extinguished for generations, but you have lit a tiny, flickering candle in the oppressive dark. You walk to your new land, the freehold. It is as the governor promised. A forgotten corner of the city. The buildings are skeletons of ferrocrete and rust. The streets are broken, but it is yours. No enforcers patrol these streets. No drones watch from the gray sky. The silence here is different. It is not enforced. It is just empty. Others begin to arrive. A few at first. Then more. They are the empty-handed. The ones who had nothing to offer the tithe. They come to your land seeking refuge. They do not ask for anything. They just want to be in the one place on the planet that the Cathar ignore. A place made safe by a joke. You do not turn them away. There is enough space. They find shelter in the ruined warehouses. They begin to repair things. A man who was a water systems engineer gets an old purifier working. A woman who remembers how to cultivate fungi starts a small garden in a dusty cellar. A community begins to form, built on the foundation of a punchline. They ask you to tell them the jest. They want to hear the words that bought their safety. You hesitate. The joke is your only weapon, your only piece of magic. To share it is to dilute its power. But looking at their tired, hopeful faces, you know you cannot refuse. You gather them in the shell of an old power station. You stand on a pile of rubble, and you tell them the story of the duck and the lemonade stand. When you reach the end, a strange thing happens. A few people make a sound, a soft, hesitant noise, a rusty, unused expression of joy. They are trying to laugh. The sound is weak at first, but it spreads. It is a fragile, beautiful thing. The first human laughter to grace this world in a century. It is the sound of a seed of hope beginning to sprout in the gray dust of Xylos.